Being authentic is all the rage these days. Be authentic. Build your brand. Your authenticity is your voice. Be authentic and people will trust you. Here's my take on it. If you're trying to be authentic, you have got it all wrong. Does that sound extreme? Good. Because isn't a hook into a podcast supposed to be extreme? So this is totally my take, not evidence-based, just my own thoughts on the matter. And why do I think so much about authenticity? I'll tell you why. Because people reach out to me a lot and say, hey, Sarah, I really like your videos. I love how authentic you are. And to be honest, I find it a little confusing because, first of all, I don't really understand the compliment of it. Like, you are I don't know. To me, authentic, like, I don't really know what that means to say you're so authentic. But the only way I think that when it comes to social media to figure out what authentic is to first understand what's not authentic, which I guess is what leads you to recognize authenticity. So I've really spent a lot of time pondering this because, like I said, I get this message a lot and it makes me just feel so confused. I literally just feel like I have a thought and I share it. I'm open about stuff. I don't know, but I feel like I see that all over the place. So I don't really know what makes something authentic or not authentic, unless it's like a sixth sense gut reaction, like, oh, that's fake, or oh, that's not. Like, because I was thinking, I've even done posts like this where I'm like, I try to fake it of what it's like to like be not authentic. Like, hey, my business is going great. I have thousands of clients and each of them are successful and each of them are millionaires and so am I. And even though I am a full-time working mom, I have everything under control. Everything is fabulous. Every moment, every day, I am happy and I am positive and I am functional and I check off all the boxes on my to-do list daily. So to me, like, I don't know, that's what not being authentic looks like, but like that's so extreme that I don't know. Like, is it intentional? Do you think people who are not authentic like are trying to seem perfect? I don't know. I find it a little confusing. So that's why when I try to think about it, what is it that when people are telling me they think I'm authentic, like what is it? And so to backtrack, one of the traits that I have is compulsive honesty. Like, if I say something that's a line and it's from somewhere else, like if I say it and then someone laughs, I'll be like, oh, that's from this place. Or if I think something, like if I think something and say something and there's difference and I feel like I have to clarify. When I used to work in the medical setting, everyone used to joke around, like when the auditor comes, send Sarah home. She's going to blurt out whatever the one area we're lacking. It's just like, it's a thing. And so I guess when it comes to talking about stuff and sharing about my life in the context of social media, I end up just having like already a very natural tendency to just be very, very open and like not only be open, to feel like wrong or not, like to feel not good if like I feel like I'm deceiving people in any way. Like, I don't think I could handle like saying, oh, be positive, do affirmations, which are things that I do say, without balancing that and saying that I struggle. I don't say affirmations daily. I am not positive every moment. I yell at my kids too. Like, I feel the need to, because like, what am I going to try to represent myself as? Some like mental health, emotionally perfect guru person? Like, I don't, so I feel like maybe some of the balance that I provide in regard to talking about the challenges that I face or things I've been through, maybe that's what people perceive as authentic. When I think about, I don't know, like authenticity from a real standpoint, I think maybe let's call it be more in touch with yourself, be more honest with yourself and your audience about what you're challenges or struggles are in addition to what your successes are, right? We're not like, you don't have to all of a sudden transition into like, let's say everything that's going wrong. But I think that, I guess it's about not misrepresenting your successes or making it sound like you're more successful than you are. Because I can imagine that's a pretty tempting thing to do, because no one can really check up on you. No one could. If I go out there and say, okay, I have an opening, I have 99 clients and I have room for one more because my caseload is always at 100 clients. Like, who could ever really check that up? Like, that's not even something that's like, there's no evidence on the internet about how many clients someone has, right? So like, but that's like just lying. So another piece that I think comes up is, like I was saying, sharing your struggles. And so we make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. We have challenges. There are areas that are our weaknesses. I mean, I like to think of it as challenges, not weakness. The word weakness just doesn't work for me. But the thing is that when you are putting yourself out there in a professional sense and just in a general sense, it's important, and I've said this so many times, to share from a place of strength and stability. So for me, I've spoken about my mental health struggles that I've gone through, but I've shared them from a place of like, hey guys, I'm in a good place. I'm a mental health professional. I love, I'm in a place that I'm capable of helping people. And, these are some of the things I've gone through. These are some things I still struggle with, but not from a place that people feel compelled to comfort me or help me. Like, to me, especially because I'm a mental health professional, it's different. If you work in a different profession, maybe you can present that differently. But how in the world can I give people the confidence that they could work with me if I'm saying like, help, I'm drowning this second, I'm in a horrible space, I hate my life. Like, that's not like authentic or authenticity. That's just instability. So I feel like when it comes to that whole concept of being real and being authentic, you also have to draw a line of like, how do I be authentic while not making people lose confidence in me? It's okay and totally normal and great to be open with your close family and friends when you're in that place and you're really struggling. On the internet, to a public audience, to just say, I hate my life, I have no hope, like, that's not going to inspire confidence. That's not going to make people think you're authentic and open and vulnerable. That makes people think that you're in trouble and you need help immediately. So I feel like that distinction is important because sometimes people don't know how to distinguish it. And that's why I like to use those words, share from a place of strength and stability. Does that mean that you can only share things that you've been through in the past? I don't think so. So for me, that's like a criticism that I kind of feel sometimes about these people who speak. They used to have this really hard, difficult life situation, and they underwent this amazing transformation, and they figured out blah, blah, blah. And now they're going to go around and motivate the world because they figured out and fixed their problems. So to me, like, I don't think that's possible. Like, I think that the whole journey and struggle and path of life is that the struggle and the journey don't ever end. And they're not supposed to. As long as we're human beings, as long as we're on this earth, challenges and struggles come up. And so then when it comes to sharing current struggles, it's about having that balance of figuring out how to share in a way that still doesn't freak people out, right? Like, so for me, when I share about how sometimes I beat myself up over not finishing my to-do list, for example, I don't think that makes people like freak out or think like, oh my gosh, we need to send her help immediately. And I mean, I share much more than that, but I try to be really, really thoughtful and mindful in the way I share, because for me, my sharing is not just like, hello world, you are my diary, listen to what I have to say and validate me. That just like, total spoiler alert, heads up, if validation is what you're looking for, social media is not the right place to go because it's kind of fickle, hit or miss, different days, different things. So I would not recommend it. But but what I wanted to say is that my goal, from the mental health standpoint, from the mental health stigma smashing standpoint, is I want to share even current struggles in a way that helps people understand how even if you're not perfect, which no one is, okay? Even if you're struggling, which everyone is struggling in some area, even if you have a challenge, there's a way of approaching it from a place of strength. There's a way of viewing it in a way that doesn't involve hating yourself or feeling horrible about who you are, even though you struggle. And that's something that is a huge goal of mine. So every time I share something I'm struggling with, it's with that frame of reference, that understanding and perspective in mind, is I'm sharing this with the goal that someone out there is going to relate to that. And someone out there is going to say, I feel the same way. And feel validated. So I'm not looking for validation. I'm looking to validate. And to me, that's an incredible motivation for being open and being vulnerable. And so, trying to wrap up here, as I see my time is up. My self-imposed personal ADHD attention time span is nearing its end for a podcast. And so I guess just to sum up, like, my thoughts about authenticity and vulnerability and sharing about your struggles is that really think about what your motivation is for sharing. If your motivation for sharing is to get people to like you or to be seen as awesome or to be vulnerable so that you can build your brand, like, chances are you're not going to have the right intention to come across as vulnerable or authentic, because at the end of the day, the bottom line is, like I said earlier, we all have a gut instinct about if somebody's being honest or not. That's the only thing I can really come up with, because how else can we hear different people say the same exact thing as each other, but one person you're like, wow, that just felt real. Like, I just felt it. And someone else, it just felt like they were standing on a stage doing a performance. So I guess that's just me thinking this whole thing through, and my hope is to continue to doing whatever I'm doing to the best of my ability and make a difference the best that I can. And I would love if you would reach out, shoot me an email, hopewhileyoucope@gmail.com, so I can hear what your thoughts are about this. Anyways, wishing you an awesome day and see you next time.